It is officially winter here in Alabama. I think today's December the 2nd, and it's finally cold. A little bit too cold to be working out here, but this is going to be the next episode in the 5x8 cargo trailer build that we got going on here on the channel. I've made some really cool progress today. I'm going to show it to you, hopefully, and then I'm going to take this tent off and try to squeeze this back in so we can finish the build up inside. When I started this build, I had two main goals in mind. The whole reason I even started this build was to be able to try to accomplish two really unique things that I haven't seen done before. That is, one, have the rooftop tent on the roof, which is not new. I understand people's done that, but most people don't try to make a hatch or a passageway to get in and out of the tent from the inside of these tiny campers. That is one of them that I've done. And another, I wanted to be able to figure out how to get heat and AC from the inside of this to the inside of our tent when we're camping so that we're comfortable when we're sleeping at night. But I didn't want to do it in a way where I got to just keep mounting stuff on top of the trailer. And I think I've got that figured out. I'm going to go over it in today's video. But first, do you guys want to see something really cool? Let me show you. I can officially get in and out of this rooftop tent from the inside of the camper, which is absolutely awesome. This was something that I thought I was going to struggle with. I figured it out, and I think it's going to work out great. I can't wait to show this to you. So what I'm going to do, since it's like 30 degrees outside today, I'm going to show you how I did this, how I'm going to be getting in and out of this trailer or the tent from the inside of the trailer, my plan for the AC, how we're going to hook it up to the tent, and then I'm going to get this tent off so we can fit this back in the shop where it's warm and I can get back to work on the inside. I couldn't continue to work on the inside for the ceiling until I figured out where this hole was going to be, but now that we got the hole figured out, cut in, I can get back to work on the rest of the stuff. But let me show you how I did this. So for those of you guys that are new to my channel and this is the first video you've seen, this is actually, I believe, part 4 or 5 of this build series. And this is a brand new 2025 5x8 cargo trailer. So it is 5 feet wide this way, 8 feet long this way. It's actually 8 foot to here. And this is an extra little bit of room on the inside in that little nose area there. But it's a 5x8 and it's only about 5 foot 6 inches tall on the inside, which I'm only 5'9", so I can crouch down a little bit while I'm in there. But it's a brand new trailer. And this is the Top Oak Nebula tent. It's the biggest rooftop tent that I've ever reviewed here on the channel, and it fit this build perfectly. Now, I know a lot of you guys are just eager to see how I did this, so let me show you how I did it, and we'll go over why I did it the way I did. So on the inside, you can see that I've been framing this thing out. This is all 1x1 steel. There's going to be a bed here, a wall here, rear kitchen here, fireplace. The fireplace is here. I'll show it to you in today's video. Fireplace is going to go here with the entertainment center and everything over here. But now, as you can see, I've got the tent ladder going up through a porthole directly through the tent. And you can see I've got everything cut in. And this is what I meant by I couldn't really finish the ceiling or put in wiring or lights until I knew where this hole was going to be. And this hole was kind of tricky to do. And let me show it to you, and then I'll go over how I did it. That way, if any of you are wanting to do something like this, you'll kind of have a rough idea of what you're going to have to deal with. So what I've done is I've cut the hole dead center, and I've got it so that we can just walk in. And the hole's not very small. I mean, that's a pretty good size hole. So you don't have to squeeze in or anything. So you walk in, you walk up the ladder. And as you can see daylight in between the tent and the top of the camper. All this is going to be closed in, but in order for me to do that, I've got to remove the tent, get it back in the shop, and then we're going to close this in, seal it all off. So this is just going to be kind of a bump in the ceiling with an opening at the top where the tent is going to connect. And speaking of the tent, I want you guys to look at how good, if you're interested in getting a tent, Top Oak is the way to go. I really thought that the floor was just a single sheet of aluminum, but it is not. Look at this. That's like an inch thick, double aluminum with this little fins on the inside. And I wasn't expecting it to be that thick, but it is. And it turned out really good. But now you can see we're in here. Let me climb on up and I'll show you the hole from inside the tent. Ah, this is gonna be so cool. Now, scoot over. Here's our porthole getting in and out. And the way I'm gonna do it is when the time comes, I'm gonna lay the mattress back in the tent, put the tent back on the trailer. The way I'm gonna connect the tent is I've got my frame here of the 1x1, and it's completely welded, sticks straight up out of the camper. It's connected to the camper ceiling. I'm going to drill holes, 3 holes on each side of this box. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, same thing all the way around. These holes are going to go straight through and into my 1x1 square tubing. In that tubing, I'm going to put a riv nut so that I can bolt this thing on, and there's going to be a gasket. Everything else is going to be completely sealed. So the wall that I'm building around that box is going to flow into the roof, and all of that is going to be completely sealed up. The only opening with the tent is off from this hole is going to be where the tent sits down on top of this new opening and connects. So when I do the 3 screws all the way around and the riv nuts, I'm going to make me a gasket, so when we set the tent on, tighten it down, it'll be weather tight. It's going to work out fantastic. I love how much room this tent offers. But the plan is once we get that done, I'm going to drop the mattress back in, get it where it goes, and then I'm going to trace the mattress from the bottom on the inside out. And then we're going to pull the mattress back out. I'll cut that square of the mattress out. I'll have to do some re-sewing and stuff, but I'm just going to have it so that piece of the floor has a bottom that drops down into this hole, so it kind of sets itself into place when we move it. And then when we get to camp, we pop the tent open, pull the ladder down. That's one cool thing about this ladder is I can just throw it in the tent, but I'll pull the ladder down, hook it up right here on the side, and then I'll be able to push up the floor, set it to the side. When it's time to go to bed, we'll climb up here, drop it in the hole, go to sleep, and then we'll be set. This thing is going to be nice. Now let me show you what I'm going to do about the heat and air for the tent and the camper. I've already got the sniffles from this cold weather already. Before I show you how I'm going to do the heat and air, I'll go ahead and update you guys on the back here, because I did get the track installed on the countertop that we're installing, that stainless steel top that I showed you guys. I've got the track in. Let me see if I can show you. And I don't have it installed on the bottom, but I had to glue this one in since it's aluminum and stainless. But there's that track, see it? And this thing's still filthy. I still got to clean it. But I've got the track installed. I used some construction adhesive for it. Let me set that back down. And then our sink's going to go there, of course. Now, a lot of you guys I think originally I might have told you early on that this back wall, let me show you from this side, now that we got some light in there. I was originally going to try to put the porthole over here and just build a ladder going up this back wall. But I realized I didn't want to have to climb straight up a wall, and I don't think my wife would either. Having a regular ladder that we can pop up and down that's made for this is going to work out way better. It gives it an angle. And even if somebody is sleeping here, this still clears just fine. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to put a pull out to double this bed size or not. But if I was to, then we would, of course, have to drop the ladder down, which is not a big deal. The ladder is going to be quick disconnect, and just like it is on the outside of the tent. As for the heat and AC, the plan is I'm going to have the diesel heater and an air conditioner on the camper. That sun's right on me. So the camper is going to have heat and AC. I don't want to have to leave the hole in the floor open of the tent in order to get that up there. And I started looking into ways to be able to port air from the inside instead of putting a separate unit and everything for the tent. If I already had the heat in the air, like during the winter, I'm going to have heat down here. During the summer, I'm going to have AC down here. All I need to do is get that air from in here up, and I've got an idea. Hopefully it's here this week, and I'll be able to show it to you in this week's video. I've already got everything ordered. So this trailer has this vent already built in that I was either going to have to keep, or I really didn't want to keep it because now that it's built into a camper, it's pointless. So I was gonna have to take it off, and it was gonna leave a big hole right here in the side of the trailer, which I wasn't happy with. But if you look at this, and you'd have to go back and watch the unboxing video, but if you look right at the top of that camper where that zipper is, that is a porthole for heat and AC. They're built in. You can kind of see it poking out on the inside there, that sleeve at the top. This is the side of the tent that has the porthole, and all I have to do now is figure out how to get a pipe from here with a built-in fan to when we get to camp. Something I was looking for, something I could pop on here, pull it up, pop it in the porthole, and then have a way to circulate the air from inside the trailer up to the tent. And I actually found the perfect thing. I really hope it's here for this video. If it doesn't show up for this video, I'll put it on the screen right here as I'm explaining it. I got on Amazon and I typed in 4-inch port, because I believe that hole up there is a 4-inch port, and that's usually what I use, is like a 4-inch flex pipe for my heat and stuff when I'm running this air conditioner on my truck or the heater on my truck. So I started looking at 4-inch portholes for fans or for vents, and I found this. I'll throw it on the screen. I found this on Amazon. It has a 4-inch outlet port that goes into the wall or your ceiling, and it's for a fan. It's for venting a bathroom for your fan. So it actually pulls air out. It looks good on the inside, and it pumps air out. So with having that, now I've got a way to be able to get the air pumped out. Now all I had to do was figure out a quick disconnect way to get a 4-inch tube popped up to the top. Found that on Amazon as well. I'm going to put it right here on the screen, and if you are interested in any of this, I'll add links to this stuff in the video description below. But I found this magnetic dryer vent connector, and when it gets here, I really hope it works out the way I'm thinking it's going to work out. But I should be able to pull up to camp, set the tent up, and then pop that magnet. So if you look right here, it's got a built-in magnet around the opening on a 4-inch outlet with the tube that goes up. And I should be able to get to camp, magnetize the side on there. It should grab the tube, go straight up, and the fan, that bathroom fan with the outlet, is going to push air out. It's got a remote control where I'll actually be able to remote control it from inside the tent, which is going to be awesome. And I'll be able to move the air from the inside of the camper up to the tent, it's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for that. I really hope it works out the way that I'm hoping it does in my mind. But the plan is I'm just going to, I'll have to, that magnet thing that I just showed you, I'm going to have to mount it here, which is fine because it actually puts it in the perfect spot. I mean, look, that couldn't have worked out any better. There's the port. This is the hole that I'm going to have. I'm going to cut it out and put it here. I may have to get me some of my marine board, the black stuff, and make a wider plate to cover the old bolt holes and stuff here and seal it and bolt it on. But I think I'll be able to put that porthole here. That is actually going to be in the top corner of the inside, and it's not going to be in the way of anything. I'll be able to run that duct straight through, and I'll just have that little fan to pump the air up and down. What I'm going to do with it while I'm not using it, like when we're closed up and we're traveling, of course, I don't want a big hole right here. So I'm probably just going to 3D print a cap that I can put over it, and I'm hoping that I can even put magnets or metal on the inside of the 3D printed cap, the little square cap that should cover the hole. And if I do, I should be able to click it on to seal up that hole, so I don't have an open hole on the side of the trailer. I think that's going to work out great, and I am super excited to do that. Now I'll show you guys the fireplace that I got going in. And I'm just kind of piling. As you can see, this is everything that I'm wanting to incorporate into this trailer build. I've been piling it on my pool table. I got the cell phone booster out of my truck. It's going to go in there. Hot water heater, the new sink. You guys have already seen the new sink. The stabilizers. I've got some of these really cool flip-up kayak racks that I'm planning on incorporating on top of the tent. So I won't be able to bring that guy with me, but I will be able to throw a lightweight kayak on the roof of the trailer, which is awesome. I've got some of these boxes that I had on the roof of my truck, and as you probably already seen, my banger is off, and I'll show it to you in a minute and show you why I've got it off right now. I'm running something else. But first, let me show you this fireplace. Check this out. It comes with a remote control, the mounting brackets. Let me grab the tripod so I can actually show you this thing. The lighting sucks on that side of the man cave in here, so I'm going to show it to you right here in front of the Chevy. As you can see, I'm in the middle of this build right now too. I've got just about everything here I need. Whoa, My birthday was Sunday, and my wife actually surprised me with that crossover steering kit that I said I wanted to buy for this. So it's here. I've actually got it. I don't know if you can see it. It's on the bench back there, and I got it all laid out, and I'm probably going to be doing the crossover steering this week so that I can get this back outside and start getting the RV back in here, or not RV, the camper back in here. But look at the size of this fireplace. This is an electric fireplace. And I won't be able to plug it up right here and show you. Well, maybe I can. Hold on, let me see something. Let me get it off of that. Because I haven't plugged it up yet. It literally just came in the mail yesterday, and I've been kind of excited about it. But I do got power here. Let's see if we can boot this thing up really quick. It's not just for looks. This thing is an actual heat. You know, it's going to offer heat. But I'm also going to have our diesel heater in the camper. So if we're camping somewhere kind of off grid and I don't want to use up my power in the camper to run an electric heater, because they do pull a lot of watts or amps, I don't want to run something like this off of that power. We'll be able to use the diesel. So let's see, there's a power button. Check that out. How cool is that? Let me kick the lights off real quick. And it's got a remote. Let me grab the remote. That is cool as heck, y'all. And I think it's got different modes. That is going to look so good in that camper. And this stuff like this, y'all, is why it's taking me so long. Not to mention I'm working, and I'm working on that camper in my spare time. But I'm scared to put the walls up and actually show progress, run wires and insulation, because there's so many things that I'm wanting to incorporate. I don't want to put the wall up somewhere and then realize, dang, I wanted to put a porthole here. Like, I almost didn't know about the heat way, the way that I was going to do the heat, until I got on Amazon and found that little bathroom vent. Now, if I'd have built the wall last week, like I almost did, I'd have to cut a hole out through the wall and kind of start from scratch. Now I can go ahead and plan for it, just like I can plan for this fireplace, which is really cool. Maybe too dark for me to operate. All right, let's see. Fire. Can you change it? Is there a battery? There's no battery in this. Well, that sucks. Okay, well, I can't work the remote. And I think there's only one button on this to oh, no, there's all the buttons. Okay, here we go. Fire. F4. So this is the light, the brightness of it. This is cool as heck. There's the heat. And it's got a little blow. Oh, it's already hot. Well, it's electric, so it should be. Smells like when you first turn your fireplace on in your house for the winter. Oh, that actually feels good. And it's super quiet. That is one review that I saw about this. And this touchscreen disappears, and you just reach over and touch the power button to bring it back up. What is this thing? I'm going to have to read the instructions, because there's a bunch of weird-looking buttons on here that I don't know what they do. There's the fireplace. Oh, you can change the colors. Check it out. There's a blue. How cool is that? Oh, one controls the rocks, the colors of the rocks. Check. I hope that's coming through on camera. That is going to be cool as heck. And that little bit of heat, by the time we're done building this trailer, y'all, it's going to be super compact. I know right now with no walls up, it looks kind of spacious in there. But you got to remember, once I put that kitchen wall up and we put the bed in and then this goes on, it's going to be super small and not a lot of space. This little bit of heat right here would probably heat up that little camper. I don't know about the tent, but it's going to do good just in that little camper area down there. Man, this is going to be nice right here. So now the plan is once I get this back in here, I'm going to be able to measure the back of this thing, and it's actually got mounting brackets back here, so it fits flush into the wall. So as soon as we step into the camper, we're going to have the fireplace right there. I've got some really cool stuff coming for this thing. Let me turn these lights back on. So I've got some really cool new stuff that I've just discovered coming for this trailer this week. I found a really cool way to incorporate a fold-down ladder for the outside. So there's going to be some times where we need to get on top of the roof, or we need to go in the tent from the outside maybe for some reason. If my wife's already in there taking a nap during the day and I don't want to have to go through the hatch, if I need to get in the tent, I wanted to be able to also get in from the outside. So I found a really cool fold down ladder. It's the only one I've seen. I don't know how many people make them, but I've got one coming. When it gets here, it's going to be really cool. We're going to mount it to the side, and it's just a quick invisible ladder. You fold it down, it turns into a ladder really quick. You walk up the side and you can go in the tent. We're going to be adding that this week. I'm going to be framing out for this thing. We're going to get it installed, and I'm hoping that everything shows up today for the portable air, or not the portable, the porthole on the side of the air. I do have some stuff. That's the rest of my Billy Bars mounts here. But I did decide that for the top of the trailer, I am putting a max air fan. I measured, and I've got just enough room in front of the tent that I'm going to install one of those max air fans. I didn't want it just to be looking like a regular fan. So I also found this on Amazon, and as you can see, I have not opened it yet. Hopefully it's what I ordered. It looks to be. I didn't want a white max air fan because when I'm done, the roof is going to be covered in black sealer. It's going to be sealed up good, and I didn't want just a big white box sitting on top of the trailer. So I found this on Amazon as well. I've been shopping on Amazon too much this week. This is called the Max Air 2. And as you can see, it is a cover that's going to go over the top of our Max Air fan. And if you can picture, the tent's going to end here. And then I got that little triangle still that sticks off front of the tent on the roof. That's where my Max Air fan is going to go. So I'll be able to, instead of running an AC during the nice spring weather, if we're hanging out in there, or if I just want to air it out, we can hit the button, open the max air fan, and it'll pump air through and recirculate through the window. And this is going to hide it. This is going to sit up there, and it looks kind of aerodynamic. It's black. It should match everything. And this was only like $30, so it's well worth it to be able to cover up the max air fan. Plus, it's an extra layer to keep bugs and water and stuff out from getting around the max air fan when you're running it. So I thought that was pretty cool. I do want to go ahead and set this thing up there just to see how it's going to look. Oh man, yeah, there's plenty of room. I was scared this was gonna look too big. It's gonna be roughly in that area where I'm planning on putting that max air fan. How does that look up there? Oh, that's perfect. That's not too big at all. And the max air fan will still be able to open up. It's gonna be kind of aerodynamic. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. Now, I know earlier I mentioned that I've got my banger off. Let me show you this right there. That's my Prinsu roof rack with my roof lights, my top oak tent. Yeah, I was able to lift it off. If you guys remember a couple videos back, or probably a month or two ago, I built that big gantry system in the backyard or my driveway so that I could lift and lower rooftop tents. I've got that remote winch, and it worked great. I was actually able to use that, and the whole reason I built it, to be able to pull my entire camping setup off my truck and set it down. And I built me a little roll around cart to set it on. But the main reason I got it off right now is because I'm thinking about wrapping my truck. The truck has been built like that. I started building it the year I got it in 2020. So right now it looks naked to me. It looks like somebody chopped the top off of it because I got the racking all off. But I'm thinking about wrapping it. And if I do, I'm going to have all that off and have it cleaned. And I've got it cleaned up pretty good right now. Another reason is, and I don't know if I can talk about it yet, but stay tuned if you're into the Tacoma build. Banger, I've been talking with the guys over at Banger, and they've got some really cool new mods coming up for 2026 for their camper shells. And it's something that is really unique. I think it's going to make them stand out from the rest of these companies on the markets, but I can't talk about it yet. It's not set in stone yet. So anyway, in order for me to do that mod, I need to pull the camper off anyway. So I'm kind of waiting to see how that's going to pan out at the end of this month or at the beginning of the year. It's almost the end of the year now. Can you believe it? It's the beginning of December. We ain't got much longer till next year. But anyway, so that's why I got it off. I got it set to the side, and I'm just riding around. I've got my Diamondback set up on my Tacoma right now. It looks really weird to me without my gear on it, but I've been getting 5 more miles a gallon with that thing, which is pretty cool. I am now going to go ahead. The sun is setting right behind you guys. It is cold as crap out here too. I've got to get this tent shut down. Before I do, I got to get up there and line up those holes that I got to drill for mounting the tent so that it stays in that same location when I put it back on. I can get those riv nuts installed, and then I'm dropping this thing back down on casters, and we're pushing it in so I can film some actual build stuff with you guys inside. Right now, I had the welder out this week when I was building that opening in here, And I'd come out here and weld for a little while, then I'd go back in, and I'd weld for a little while and go back in because it was so cold. But I've got that knocked out. We should be able to do the rest of this build inside. Thank God I've got room to be able to roll this thing in, and we'll get it built, and then we'll pull it back out. We'll have to pull it back out for the suspension and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. I know this video was more of just me showing you what I've done and not really doing it in the video with you guys, but I was able to get a lot done this week. That was a big relief. Cutting that hole was something that I wasn't sure that I was actually gonna be able to do correctly. And it's all, I'll show it more once we install the tent back on and how everything has to line up. But the hole that I had to cut had to line up in between the ceiling joist, and it had to line up in between the roof rack, and it had to line up in between the tent racks that connect to the roof rack. So I had to mount the tent in a way that all those holes were together whenever I cut that big hole. I'm just glad it worked out. I've had that on my mind for a while, so now we can jump to the cool stuff. So if you guys are new, stay tuned if you enjoy this build. I've got a lot of cool stuff and some really unique stuff coming for this build. It's gonna be really fun. Hit subscribe. I upload every Monday at 6, and I will catch you guys next Monday at 6 o'clock. Peace. Whew, it's cold.